Last week I got a little trim, a little haircut. Didn't exactly tell the proportions of what kind of bowl cut I wanted, but this is what I got. You can just a helmet. You don't need a seatbelt when you got bangs of steel. Super glued. This is the Asian hair that everyone wants a wig of. This is the Asian hair that all the synthetic wig users want. Slick. Runs like a waterfall. Slip and slide. You could serve a 4-star meal on this thing, and it slips off. But once you get yourself one of these, and you don't put it up your ass, but instead... Now I'm like Joan of Arc. I look like I'm about to board the Titanic. I'm going off to Liverpool! About to get on the Titanic! Can't wait to board first class! Innit? I wonder why I get pulled over at TSA for looking too young. They say, keep your shoes on. And then I say, hey, hold on. I'm almost 21. That's good. Isn't that good? What are you looking at me like that for? It was a joke saying that, like, I look too young. Oh. And then they're like, little girl, keep your shoes on. And then I'm like, hold on. I could be hiding drugs under there. Or small needles that I can use as weapons. I fly next week. Don't put me on the no-fly list. Let's get to the meat of the video. Haircuts. What is the general drive that is in us all to get a fresh summer cut? Why do I want to feel the wind on the back of my neck? And not in like a horse being free in a field way, but in a I am a dog and my tail just automatically goes up so I can't feel anything on my butthole kind of way. The history of haircuts. Why do we do it? How did we figure out that once you cut your hair that it can still grow? Who took the nosedive? The only way that we can figure this out is if we talk about me. Hi, I'm Aisha, and I've had basically every single haircut in the book. From long, short, medium short, short again, pixie cut, almost shaven, almost Britney Spears. But I held back, and let me tell you why. Because here's the thing, people will say, oh, you know, you can pull off any haircut. And it's true, because a bad bitch doesn't care about their head shape. But a little bitch does, right? And so I never shaved my head, but I did do the whole range because when I was 15, 16 years old, I said, you know what, I'm in my years. These are the primary years that I can look back on in 10 years and be like, look at all the phases of haircuts. Look at the free range, right? I had no job, I had no needs for my hair to look a certain way because of school or priorities. And so I said, why the fuck not? Let's go through all the range and just get it over with. Because the what if of what I would look like with a pixie cut, it ate at me, right? Like a sin in church. It was eating away at me. So I dove in and I did the pixie cut. But let's go back to the beginning. Let's go back to when I was younger, right? I had long hair. It never went past my butt crack because I, for some reason, couldn't grow it past there. That was the goal. That was the dream. Didn't make it past that stage, but I did have long hair. And from ages 3 to 15 was when I had that long hair. The reason being was because I was a ballet dancer. I was a Miss American Balanchine ballet dancer. And I had to have my hair at a certain length. You see, it needs to be long enough to put in a bun. You know, for a good decade and few years, it was long hair for me. I had a bang phase in 3rd grade. Next day, we pushed that back with a Claire's hair clip, and we came full circle now, because I have not had my bangs past my ears in about 4 years now. Anyway, moving forward. Now, what drove me to cut the hair? What drove the chop? Let's just say when I was around 15, 16 years old, a very specific episode of Steven Universe came out. Now, mind you, I am delusional. I think, right, in my head, that I am a fictional character, or at least that I have the potential to be desired like a fictional character. And so, I saw Miss Connie Maheshwaran do a big chop, and she looked like this, and she looked wonderful. She looked so cute and lively and free, and I loved the volume. I loved the voluptuous levels that each hair had. It just looked like a cloud. And I was like, oh my god, that could be me. Now, because I was 15, 14, in that range of age, that my hair texture is not exactly the same as Mrs. Maheshwaran's. And I asked my mom, hey, I would love a little choppy chop. And so because I was still in dance, we couldn't do it fully to the length, but we did a mid. And so it was like here. It was like this. And this was really freeing for me. For some reason, I felt really good here. My hair had never been this short in my life that I coherently remembered. Anyway, so I had it short enough that I could keep it in a bun for dance. But, so it was like I was a cool dancer. Like, you couldn't tell as I'm walking down the street, I was a ballet dancer, whatever. Okay, fast forward, I quit dance. I'm free from the grasps of traumatic ballet training. And so now I'm in this era of freedom. And now I realize, about a couple months later, right? My hair is growing out a little bit, but I realized a couple months later, I can cut my hair again. I can cut ear length if I wanted to. Nothing's fucking stopping me. So I go to my mom and I say, hello, Mommy, could you cut my hair? Because I don't go to a hair salon. I have never been to a hair salon. I come from a long line of Filipino women who just cut each other's hair, and we keep it that way. My mom took out some scissors, did a big chop, and this was the result. It was a great moment for me. You know what? I was starting to feel like a narcissist. I thought I was the hottest bitch in the room. And I was a little bit. It was great to just wake up and do 2 swipes with the brush and I'm ready to go. I'm ready for a night out. I still didn't realize that my hair texture was not Connie Maheshwaran's, but I then started investing in a lot of hair volume products that kind of helped. I don't know. Let's fast forward. From here to here, chop-wise, is big. But from here to here, that's a mega chop. Double large tampon chop. It changes your face shape. It changes the way that you dress. So let's get into, is this a style that will work for you? This is what you do. You go on Pinterest, right? And you find a bunch of hairstyles that you want, right? And you don't realize in the moment that these are hairstyles on people whose head shapes aren't like yours. They're probably much more fitting to the hairstyle, but you look at them anyway and you go, I'm gonna look exactly like this. And you go to Supercuts, okay? And you show the person there, hey, I want this. And the person at Supercuts is gonna nod and give you the exact opposite. And you're gonna walk out of there $90 broker than you were before. And sad. So how do we avoid this? Unfortunately, you can't. It doesn't matter how great of a professional person that you go to, from Supercuts to home to a premium place at the back of a Wendy's. You can't be a haircut girly if you don't absolutely despise at least one of your haircuts to the point that brings you to the brink of tears, until you can taste the salt in the corner of your mouth and you hate your life a little bit. And I had not gotten to that point, right? Everything was successful. And then 2020 rolls around. Mentally, I was doing great, right? I had started watching anime more. I had dreamt up more scenarios for me to be delusional to. I was listening to my ASMR boyfriend audios. I was deep into Captain Degenerate on AO3. Ooh, what a savior! Let me tell you, Levi Ackerman, you will always have a place in my heart. I know I have a boyfriend, but Levi Ackerman, you will always have a place in my heart, right? I love you, little man. I love you, scrawny, little 30-year-old man who hates kids. I love you. During that time, I realized that I'm not going to be outside a lot, out and about, and so this was the time to utilize the pixie cut moment. Not being seen a lot, being confined in my own space, and I was like, oh, okay, here it is. This is the moment. This is what it's all been building up to. This is the time to take the opportunity and get that fucking pixie cut, and I did. I got her. She was in my grasp, and I liked her at the time. Now I look back and I go, that was the biggest fucking mistake of my life. Not that the haircut was bad. My mom did a wonderful job. I just don't have the head shape for this shit. And you know what sucks? Is that I loved how my hair felt then. I love the breeze, all right? Like this, I get some wind on my neck, but with a pixie cut, you feel it behind your ears. And so I also dyed like a part of my hair. It was a thing with friends. You wouldn't understand. I will say this though. The shorter that your hair is, when you have thin, this specific hair texture, the greasier and much more oilier your hair feels after like day 2. And that's because when you had longer hair, right, it would get oily in the roots, but everything else was fine because you had some length to work with. But when you have short hair, it gets oily, and then there's only like a centimeter of like life left in your hair that is not drenched in canola oil. But fortunately, I would rather live the rest of my life with my hair short like a senior citizen than down to my ass crack, because I just can't stand the feeling of long hair. In certain outfits, I look like a mom in the 80s. In others, I look like Gregory from Five Nights at Freddy's. I like the idea of just being a little guy. Now we're at this stage of my life. I'm 21 years old, where I am happy with where I am in my hair. I like where I'm at. And then here fucking comes a new animated series. Here comes My Adventures with Superman. And guess what Lois Lane looks like? What the fuck? Are you fucking kidding me? Why did this series not come out when I had this hair length? Cause now I'm back, my ass is back on Pinterest, and I'm looking at pins of girls with different head shapes than mine, with short hair, and they look fucking beautiful. So what's a girl gotta do? If I didn't always strive to look like a very specific fictional character that was trending during the times, this would not be an issue for me. But this is how I continue living. Do I cut my hair again to cosplay fucking Lois Lane? Like, okay, imagine me at a convention with her fit and the haircut of a tomboy or like a lesbian in 3rd grade, right? Imagine that. Yeah, I think I'll do it. I think I'll cut my hair. No, don't fucking do it. You wanna know why? Because you're gonna regret that shit. 30 seconds after you chop it, you're gonna start crying, right? And you're too fucking hot to cry. The debate is on my mind. And now it's up to the viewers. Actually, I don't care what you think. In the next video, my head's gonna be shaven. Like a snow cone. I won't cut my hair. I'm too much of a pussy now. Like 3 years ago, I would have been like, chop it, donate it, pluck it, make sure it never grows back. Someone get my tweezers, let's pull this shit out. Has my face changed since the pixie cut? Is my face, like, is my head shape, has puberty settled? And is this how I'm gonna look like for my 20s? Because if so, I think I would look good. No, I won't. I got a comment under my most viewed video. It's like a 2-minute skit of what it's like to be an artist when a non-artist asks you to draw them and they don't understand the idea of commission fees. It was like, I understand why she was more attractive here then, and people thought she was more likable. It's because she wasn't a feminist and had long hair. Just cut your hair. Actually, I don't know. Don't ask me. I'm just a girl. You are going to look back at this moment and you're going to have a visceral reaction to your haircut now when you look back at it in like 10 years. It could be a good reaction. It could be a bad reaction. But at least you get to look back and see what, change your avatar. The what ifs. Because no TikTok filter is going to accurately describe what you're going to look like bald. Get those fucking tweezers out and pluck every hair until you can't see anymore.